Ukraine's long-range drone campaign has inflicted substantial pain on the Russian war machine, methodically crippling its energy sector, disrupting its logistical arteries. As much as 40% of refining capacity has reportedly been taken offline in recent months, creating domestic gasoline shortages, forcing the Kremlin to confront the war's consequences far from the front lines. This relentless pressure campaign showcases Kyiv's innovation and adaptation. Yet the drones were only a prelude to a far more significant escalation. A new and more formidable weapon has entered the fray. Russia struggled to stop swarms of slow-moving drones. Now it faces a threat of an entirely different magnitude. The Flamingo cruise missile's unveiling marks a qualitative leap in Ukraine's reach into Russian territory. This is not another drone. It is a long-range missile built for high-impact strikes on heavily defended strategic targets. Initial reports say Russia's air defenses were powerless to stop it, signaling a new era of vulnerability for critical infrastructure. Public indications of Flamingo's operational status came from President Volodymyr Zelensky. On October 6, 2025, he hinted at deployment during a joint press conference with the Dutch Prime Minister. He alluded to viral videos showing the aftermath of strikes. Observers could discern where drones were used and where they were not. Many read this as a veiled confirmation that missiles, not just UAVs, are now in Ukraine's deep strike arsenal. The Flamingo, formerly the FP-5, is a testament to Ukrainian ingenuity, blending Soviet-era components with modern design. At its core are repurposed Soviet-era turbofan engines, cost-effective, proven hardware, driving a sleek carbon fiber fuselage. According to manufacturer Firepoint, a fuselage can be produced in about 6 hours. Rapid, scalable production underpins a shift to affordable mass, crucial in a high-intensity war of attrition against a larger adversary. Performance is what elevates it to a strategic weapon. The Flamingo is credited with an operational range over 3,000 kilometers, approximately 1,964 miles. That puts nearly all of European Russia, including Moscow, within reach, as well as the industrial hubs of the Ural Mountains. Only the most remote Far East lies beyond its radius. Complementing its reach is a massive warhead, reported at 1,150 kilograms, designed not just to damage, but to obliterate targets, leveling industrial facilities, collapsing bunkers, vaporizing ammunition depots. Engineered for survivability, it can skim as low as 50 meters above ground, a regime that makes conventional radars struggle to detect and track. It can alter vectors en route, complicating interception. Its unusual name, a paint batch, came out pink. Engineers nicknamed it Flamingo, and the moniker stuck. Zelensky's hint was a masterclass in strategic communication, a tantalizing signal without operational details, creating uncertainty for Moscow. He declined to say when or where Flamingo was used, forcing Russian services to guess at the missile's true envelope. This caution reflects lessons from 2023. Public buildup gave Russia time to build layered defenses, the Surovikin lines, with minefields, trenches, and tank barriers that bogged down the advance, a grueling, costly fight for limited gains. The hard-won lesson: operational security must be absolute. Zelensky noted about 60% of deep strikes use unmanned systems, some ranging over 930 miles, which leaves 40% unaccounted for. Asked to confirm Flamingo strikes, the General Staff demurred, "No, we do not have such information at this time." While Kyiv stays silent, evidence is mounting. Journalists and independent analysts piece clues from OSINT, satellites, and damage patterns. On October 5th, The Economist cited believable reports of Flamingo use, especially against oil refineries, destruction exceeding known drone capabilities. Militarny reported a triple launch from Ukraine's coast hitting patrol boats and an FSB outpost in occupied Crimea. Low-res satellite shows the outpost's main building decimated, with extensive fire damage. The scale suggests a far larger warhead than Neptune or long-range drones. Army recognition also points to possible Flamingo strikes in Belgorod, unconfirmed but consistent with patterns. A trail of outsized explosions, Zelensky's hints, and that 40% gap build a compelling narrative. Using open-source tools like UN SaferGuard helps visualize effects, immediately fatal within roughly a 24-meter radius. A kill zone, nearly 50 meters across. Severe lung damage and perforated eardrums well beyond that. Unarmored structures within 35 meters, about 114 feet, are completely demolished. Buildings can be rendered uninhabitable over far larger distances. Cruise missiles balance range and payload. Reports credit Flamingo with 3,000 kilometers at 1,050 kilogauge. Closer targets could permit more payload or higher terminal velocity, boosting impact energy, making strikes on Crimea or Belgorod even more devastating. Compared to the US Tomahawk, Flamingo's key edge is cost. Tomahawk up to about $2 million. Flamingo roughly a quarter of that. Flamingo's heavier payload and longer reported reach come with trade-offs in precision and survivability, but its low flight and path changes complicate defenses. European missiles are precise, but shorter-ranged and pricier. Flamingo fills an affordable mass niche. In prolonged conflict, volume matters. Flamingo enables saturation at sustainable cost. Forging Flamingos at scale is the industrial challenge. A handful of missiles yields tactical effects. Sustained output yields strategic impact. General David Petraeus, the missile becomes a game-changer if produced in substantial numbers. Capacity hinges on industrial throughput and funding. Ukraine's defense sector has multiplied its output since the full-scale invasion. Kyiv aims for about $35 billion in defense production by 2026. Ambitious, investment-dependent. Export platforms can monetize surpluses to fund domestic needs. Firepoint reportedly scaled from 1 missile per day towards 7 per day by October 2025. If achieved, that's roughly 2,555 missiles yearly at an estimated $1.27 billion, a formidable, replenishing arsenal to sustain pressure. Russia knows mass Flamingo production is an existential threat to its war effort. On September 4, 2025, it launched one of the war's largest mixed strikes, targeting the Kalush Industrial Hub Park, rumored Flamingo production. Fires burned, but whether the facility was hit remains unknown. The attack proves Moscow views Flamingo as a core threat. A domestically produced long-range missile grants strategic autonomy, shedding political constraints tied to Western systems, holding the aggressor's most valuable assets at risk, deep in the rear, forcing a no-win choice: pull defenses from the front or leave the rear exposed. More than hardware, Flamingo symbolizes Ukrainian resilience. Its flight may mark the moment Kyiv seized strategic initiative.